Despite the chaos, scenes from Mecca have also shown an incredible sense of unity and faith. Pilgrims from all over the world were seen raising their hands to the sky, praying as lightning lit up the minarets of the Grand Mosque. The sound of heavy rain mixing with thousands of voices created a surreal and deeply moving atmosphere. Saudi civil defense officials are urging everyone to stay indoors and avoid areas prone to flooding until the situation stabilizes. Several schools and public offices have temporarily closed due to the extreme weather conditions. This storm is part of a larger trend of unusual weather patterns hitting the Middle East in recent years. Experts warn that climate changes could lead to heavier rainfall and increased flooding, even in desert regions that rarely see such events. As night fell over the city, Mecca glimmered under a wet, reflective glow. Streets shone with the golden lights of the mosques, water still rushed through narrow alleys, and pilgrims remained steadfast in their prayers, showing calm resilience in the face of the storm. News outlets across the region, including BBC Arabic, CNN International, Al Arabiya, and Euronews, have been covering the unfolding situation around the clock. They are providing updates on rescue operations and weather forecasts for the coming days. Officials are working tirelessly to clear major roads and keep the pilgrimage areas safe. Meanwhile, people worldwide are watching in awe, amazed by both the power of the storm and the devotion of those who stood firm through it. This storm in Mecca will be remembered not just for its intensity, but for the faith it revealed. The sight of thousands praying beneath pouring rain, seeking peace and mercy, is a testament to the strength of human spirit in the face of nature's force. A sudden and intense storm hit Mecca, bringing massive hail, heavy rain, and widespread flooding across parts of Saudi Arabia. Streets were submerged, vehicles stranded, and residents were stunned by the sheer power of the weather. Even as the skies darkened above the Grand Mosque, pilgrims continued their prayers. Footage from Saudi TV and Al Arabiya showed torrents of water moving through the Masjid al-Haram's courtyards, while lightning streaked across the sky, illuminating the minarets of Islam's holiest site. Meteorologists from Arabia Weather say this storm started from a powerful low-pressure system over western Saudi Arabia. In just a few hours, parts of the city were hit by some of the heaviest rainfall in recent memory. Winds howled through open areas of Mecca, even causing temporary blackouts in certain districts. Eyewitnesses described the scene as both chaotic and awe-inspiring. It felt like night had fallen in the middle of the day, one pilgrim recalled. The wind screamed, rain poured like waterfalls, and hailstones the size of fists crashed down. Yet, even in these extreme conditions, pilgrims continued their prayers. Videos shared on Sky News Arabia and Al Jazeera Live captured worshippers standing shoulder to shoulder in the rain, hands raised, voices strong, their devotion cutting through the roar of the storm. Thunder blended with the call to prayer, creating a deeply emotional and unforgettable moment in the holy city. Authorities issued flash flood warnings for Mecca and nearby areas, including Jeddah, Taif, and Mina. Rescue and civil defense teams worked tirelessly through the night to help those trapped by rising waters. In some neighborhoods, cars floated down streets while strong currents carried debris and damaged property. The storm's impact extended to Jeddah later in the evening. According to reports from the Saudi press agency, dozens of roads were temporarily closed due to flooding, and flights at local airports were delayed as heavy rain and lightning reduced visibility. The General Authority for Meteorology and Environmental Protection cautioned that more thunderstorms could develop in the coming hours, fueled by moisture from the Red Sea. Residents were urged to stay indoors and avoid traveling through flood-prone areas. On social media, striking images of hail-covered courtyards and glistening white stones went viral. Many compared the unusual sight to snow, a rare and surreal event in the desert kingdom. People described it as both terrifying and awe-inspiring, a powerful reminder of nature's incredible force and beauty. As the storm finally eased, Mecca emerged drenched but unshaken. The Great Mosque shimmered under the night sky, its lights reflecting in puddles across the courtyard. Pilgrims quietly resumed their prayers, grateful for safety and remembering those affected by the sudden flooding. Across the region, news outlets like BBC Arabic, CNN International, and Reuters Middle East covered the unusual weather in detail. Experts weighed in, pointing out how climate changes and rising temperatures might be making extreme storms more frequent across the Arabian Peninsula. Local authorities confirmed that emergency crews remained on standby as cleanup operations got underway. City workers began clearing waterlogged streets, while utility teams worked to restore power to neighborhoods impacted by the storm. For many, this storm will be remembered as one of the strongest to hit Mecca in recent years. It was a moment that showed the delicate balance between human determination and the forces of nature, a time when faith provided comfort amid chaos. Even as hail battered marble floors and lightning streaked across the sky, thousands of pilgrims continued their prayers, undeterred, standing together in devotion and hope. Mecca once again proved its resilience, a city defined by faith, remaining steadfast even under nature's most extreme conditions. Earlier in the day, the Saudi Meteorological Authority had issued warnings for thunderstorms and heavy rain across the western regions. But few could have predicted the speed and intensity of what followed. In minutes, powerful winds swept through the city, followed by a deluge so heavy that visibility nearly vanished. Videos shared by Al Arabiya and Sky News Arabia captured dramatic scenes. Cars submerged in water, streets turned into rushing rivers, and pilgrims huddling near the Kaaba as hailstones the size of golf balls fell from the sky. The Saudi civil defense quickly dispatched rescue teams to assist those trapped in flooded areas and tunnels. Several districts in Mecca and nearby Jeddah were reported heavily affected. Roads were closed as emergency units worked through the night, and city drainage systems struggled to cope with the sudden rush of water, leaving some areas underwater for hours. Despite the chaos, the sense of unity and faith among pilgrims stayed unshaken. Meteorologists say what happened in Mecca was extremely rare. Even as rain poured down, many pilgrims continued to pray in the courtyards of the Grand Mosque, their voices blending together while lightning streaked across the sky above the minarets. The scene was both terrifying and beautiful, thousands of people praying under a stormy sky, and videos of it quickly spread across social media, capturing hearts worldwide. Experts are calling this one of the most unusual storms to hit Mecca in recent memory. A mix of high atmospheric instability and scorching desert heat created conditions for thunderstorms similar to supercells, something almost never seen in this region. Hailstones as large as 7 centimeters were reported, strong enough to crack car windows and damage rooftops. Local residents noted that temperatures plummeted quickly as the storm hit. After each heavy burst of rain and thunder, an eerie silence would fall over the city before the next wave of the storm arrived. Saudi meteorologists linked this unusual pattern to shifts in the Red Sea convergence zone, which can cause sudden surges of moisture and violent updrafts inland. The storm brought not just heavy rain, but widespread flooding that transformed streets around the Grand Mosque into rushing rivers. Thousands of pilgrims found themselves under dark skies and flashing lightning as the storm swept rapidly through the city, leaving behind scenes of both fear and awe. The Saudi National Center for Meteorology issued urgent weather warnings for Mecca, Jeddah, and surrounding areas, alerting residents to strong winds, intense rain, and potential floods. Major news outlets provided continuous coverage, showing footage of hail pelting the Kaaba's courtyard while worshippers continued their prayers, undeterred by the extreme weather. Eyewitnesses described thunder rolling through the minarets and torrents of water racing through the streets. Security teams and civil defense personnel worked tirelessly to keep roads clear and ensure the safety of pilgrims within protected areas of the mosque. This storm was described as one of the most intense in years, with rainfall lasting several hours and overwhelming local drainage systems. Meteorologists explained that the extreme weather was caused by a clash between hot desert air and moist winds from the Red Sea. This combination created ideal conditions for huge hailstones and dramatic lightning displays. Satellite images showed thick clouds covering much of western Saudi Arabia, stretching from Mecca to Taif and even Medina, highlighting the vast scale of this extraordinary storm. The downpour hit hard, stranding cars left and right in knee-deep water that came out of nowhere. Officials were quick on the scene, urging everyone to stay inside and ride it out until things calmed down. Rescue teams fanned out everywhere, working around the clock to pump out water, clear blocked roads, and get traffic moving again. It was chaos, but they handled it like pros. Now, shift over to Mecca itself, where millions of pilgrims from every corner of the globe had come together for prayer and reflection. Even as the storm raged, these devoted folks didn't miss a beat. Imagine the scene, hail pounding down, lightning lighting up the massive Grand Mosque like a fireworks show, and rainwater rushing through the open courtyards. Saudi news channels aired heart-pounding clips of worshippers lifting their hands to the sky, praying through the wind and the wet, turning a scary moment into something truly powerful and moving. The storm didn't stop at the city limits. Up in Taif, temps plummeted fast, and those monster hailstones started smashing windshields and denting roofs. Social media blew back with pics and videos of the damage, cars looking like they'd been through a batting cage. And get this, in the nearby mountains, usually bone dry most of the year, sudden waterfalls tumbled down the cliffs, carving temporary streams through the rocks. It was one of those rare, jaw-dropping sights that reminds you how wild nature can get in the desert. Mecca's got some serious upgrades when it comes to handling this stuff. Think state-of-the-art drains and flood barriers designed to keep the worst at bay. They mostly did the job, avoiding any big catastrophes. But the water was relentless in spots, overflowing curbs and turning walkways into streams. That's when the real community spirit kicked in. Pilgrims linking arms, forming chains to help each other wade through safely, strangers becoming lifelines in the downpour. Experts are weighing in too, saying these intense storms are popping up more often lately. Blame it on changing climate vibes, scorching heat mixing with humid air and unstable skies, brewing up these epic rain events and hail that can wreak havoc but also look straight out of a movie. As evening fell, the system pushed east, leaving cooler breezes and an eerie quiet over the mosque. Cleanup squads jumped into action right away, hauling away branches, sweeping up hail, and draining the puddles so life could get back to normal. Pilgrims later shared stories that gave me chills. Yeah, it was frightening, but it deepened their faith like a raw encounter with something bigger than all of us. Shout out to outlets like Arab News, Al Jazeera's Arabic feed, and Gulf Today for covering the unity on full display. Locals, officials, and visitors all pitched in, supporting each other through the mess. The best part? Quick-thinking emergency crews kept injuries to a minimum, no major losses reported, which is huge in a storm like that. In the aftermath, as the sun came back out, it was a mix of relief and reflection. A wild reminder that even in sacred places, Mother Nature demands respect. If you've ever been caught in a storm during travel or pilgrimage, drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Hit that like button if this blew your mind, subscribe for more real-time world events, and we'll catch you in the next.